everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jason.
I'm Julie.
And we're Destination Full-Time. And today we've got a special treat for you. We're going to talk about a product that could possibly save your life. Actually, Julie was able to interview Johnny and Lee, and you'll meet them in a minute, and they're going to tell you how this product, the Hub Saver, could potentially save a life.
Very important product, and it's definitely something that you need to hear about and understand and possibly get for yourself.
It's really inexpensive, and when it comes to saving a life, really the amount of money that you spend on this product, it's insignificant.
Yeah, it's priceless.
So without further ado, Julie, take it away.
I am here at Hub Saver with the creator,
Johnny Powell,
and
Lee Blackwell. Yep, we're both partners
of Hub Saver.
Yep.
So I'm a girl, and I'm like, what is the Hub Saver? So tell me all about it.
Sure.
And tell me why it's so important and why everybody has to have one.
Okay. So basically, the easy part of it is if you've ever been on the highway and you've seen a trailer on the side of the road with a wheel off of it, normally that's an outer bearing failure. So what happens is when that bearing fails, the wheel assembly is enabled to come off of the trailer.
And go rolling down the highway.
Rolling down the highway, right? So what this part does is this part keeps everything together, allows you to get off the side of the highway, make a safe repair somewhere safe, not in the middle of traffic. The way that it works is, if we want to do a little explanation of what it looks like normally. So we're not going to have a bearing in here, but that's a standard compression washer, and then that's your normal nut. Well, when the bearing fails, the hub is able to do this. Problem is that there's nothing that holds the hub on the assembly once that bearing is gone. So
that's bad.
That's bad, right? That's a bad day. So what we've done is we created the Hub Saver. So as you can see, the diameter is bigger, but the metal is completely different. So this is a completely different blend of metals. This is a lot harder than what the regular compression washer is. So with the Hub Saver, now the outer diameter is bigger. So when the bearing fails, now the hub cannot come past the race.
Oh, wow.
So that holds everything together.
Enough to get off the side of the road,
You can get off the side of the road, and if you're capable of doing a repair yourself, you can pull the cap off, take all the old bearing out of it, clean it up, put a new bearing back in it, and keep going on your trip. So you're not waiting on somebody to either bring you parts, or if you need somebody to call for service, they can come and do that same thing. Typically, you're not going to be in a situation where you're having to hunt parts.
So your day was like a hiccup, not a totally ruined day.
That's exactly right. That's our goal. So the main reason that we invented this part was so that the wheel assembly does not come off the trailer and hurt somebody. That's the whole reason we did it. So in our testing, we figured out that now, because of the tolerances that we keep, now the hub doesn't beat itself up. Right, so it doesn't hurt the spindle, it doesn't hurt the hub, and so you're able to save that day rather than sit and wait for parts.
So I want to know what happened to make you create this product. What happened to you?
Well, I used to be an auto transporter, and I was in the auto transport world. And on the road every day I saw this problem. I saw it happen every day. I see people beside the road with a wheel missing. And I didn't understand exactly what was going on until it happened to me, first time. I lost a wheel, tore all my stuff up. It happened a few other times. And then a few years later, I was up in Ohio, and a lady had got killed from a wheel coming through a windshield. And I run up on the accident. Anyway, I started thinking and talking to my wife about how my wife is actually a CAD designer, so we were talking about how we could come up with an idea to fix this problem. In the meanwhile, we were working on something for myself, really, to put on our trailers. I was down here actually in Miami, Florida, and I was pulling to an intersection, busy traffic, and the wheel come off. I felt it snap when I hit the brakes, and the wheel hit the sidewalk beside me. It was heading straight down the sidewalk. There was two elderly women standing there getting ready to cross the street when the light changed. And they were just standing staring up at waiting for the marker. They didn't even see the wheel coming. And I'm sitting there about 8 vehicles back in traffic watching this unfold between my eyes.
And
I couldn't do anything about it. And I just can't express how that feels, because you have no control and you know what's fixing to happen. Well, for some reason, the wheel bared off to the right and hit a pole right behind them, about 8 foot behind them.
Yeah.
It rolled into a flower bed at a Wendy's parking lot. By the time I got up there, the light turned, the ladies were gone. They never knew nothing ever happened. But by the time I got up, made the turn and retrieved the wheel and stuff, I made a phone call back home and told Suzanne that we needed to do something, or I wasn't doing this anymore. I was done. So we come up with some prototypes, and I put them on a trailer and started testing them for about a year on my haulers and a few others. Had a few bearing failures and the part work. So we started working on types of steel, combinations of steel that would benefit everybody as far as not maybe messing up the part, just made sure it's a lot stronger material. And then that's how basically we developed it and started testing, and then put them on the market probably back in 2020, end of 2020. And it's
then
just
you
been
met
growing.
Lee at that
I
point?
met Lee in 2021 actually.
Okay.
Yep. And
Well, he very much seems to be
he is definitely into
100% behind this product.
We-
Knows it.
We come to the same. We come from the same world. We both come from the racing world, so these problems have always really happened. It's just gotten worse in the past probably 10 years or so, and a lot of the material that I had tested on some of these bearings are just not. The material is just not up to standard as far as my opinion on why the bearings come apart, especially a cage just tear apart. And we ended up, I guess, a few years ago, we started making other sizes. So right now we have 3 sizes for the standard, but we're working on the larger ones on up now.
So regular cars, RVs?
No cars,
trucks?
just trailers.
No
It's all,
cars.
any towable,
Okay.
anything that you can tow. Boat trailer, camper, utility trailer, anything. And now we're getting into the big, heavy industrial equipment truck trailers.
Nice.
Because this is a problem that happens every day. People just don't see it. Several hundred people a year get killed. And I couldn't even tell you how many people get injured from this problem. And if
So he
everybody
needs
needs
one
to
of
have
these.
this, we would love to see it become a mandate one day on, especially on
Yes.
DOT registered vehicles.
Absolutely.
So
Save
it's
a lot of lives.
But
The thing is, when you're sitting in your car at a stop sign or a stoplight or something like that, and a tire comes rolling at you, you have no place to go.
have
And
nowhere
usually
to
they're
go.
bouncing.
That's right.
So they're going to hit your car, bounce right through your windshield, and kill you or hurt you.
You're speaking of a 140 pound wheel coming at you at 65, 70 miles an hour. And there's no one in this building exempt from that happening to you.
Right.
Us or someone next door. You could be your trailer you're hauling or the car you're driving in beside the trailer.
And I saw a video sometime back where a tire came off and it actually hit a semi. And so don't think just because you're riding a big rig
It
that
doesn't
you're
matter.
safe, because it still did significant damage
I've
to
seen
them.
them before also
Yeah.
beside the road.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get this out there so that more and more people can be safe on the road.
We're just trying to make awareness to everyone, so everyone does have an option now. There was a time you didn't have an option.
Yeah.
When we started working on patenting this product, there was nothing in existence like this. Period. 1 pack per axle. There's 2 per pack.
Oh, okay.
And, you can get our numbers off there and give us a call if you have any questions. We're always looking for dealers and distributors. So we have a network now of probably 65 or so dealers and several distributors.
It seems to me like if they're educated and really understand what it is, you can't not
It's a
have
no-brainer.
this product.
It's
Exactly.
the cheapest insurance, $39.95 a pack. It's the cheapest insurance you'll ever have. And with my experience, I'm not just a person that off the street decided to come up with a reason to sell something. I experienced this problem, and I really tried to fix this problem for myself. And it ended up snowballing, and there was a need for it. And that's pretty much where we're at. And Lee and I both been working really hard in the past year and a half, 2 years to really get awareness to this, more so than, it's just something that everybody needs.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Please make sure you go to the website and check it out. And I can't wait to put these on ourselves, because now I'm scared to drive down.
We certainly appreciate everybody's help, because you don't ever know.
Yeah.
Like I said, no one's exempt from this happening.
Right.
People think because it never happened to me, it's never happened to no one until it's happened the first time.
Well, and not even if it
mean, you
happens
look
to
at-
you, but if it happens to someone you know, you
Yeah.
love, it's just something you can prevent
Yeah,
for such a small amount.
Yeah, it is. And it save you a lot of time and money, that's for sure.
All right, we're ready. We pulled in the slides so it'll be easier to work on. Now we're going to pull the tire off and install our first hub saver. got the front side installed, and now we're going to go back to the back side and install the back hub savers. Alright guys, overall pretty easy install. Again, these are $39.99 per axle, and they have the ability to save a life. So you tell me, is it worth it or is it not? For a few minutes of labor and a little bit of money to potentially save a life, I think it's well worth it. We encourage you to go to www.thehubsaver.com and get you a set today before you have a catastrophic failure that could cost a life.
And living in the RV is sublime. Destination full time.